Well, good everybody. Good evening. If you guys can hear me clearly, type Y in the chat box. You can hear me, type Y in the chat box. Those of you on the conference call line, if you go to live1dream.info, that is live1dream.info, you will be able to see everything that I am speaking about tonight. If you're having trouble hearing or listening, we do have our conference call line open, which is 712-432-0075. The screen is black right now, Juanita, because I'm loading up a video. And I'm giving it time to load because I'm going to play a special video for you guys. And also, for those of you who don't know, Juanita's brand new to the team. Welcome to the team. And guess what? Her sponsor, Juanita's right here in the United States, and her sponsor is from Japan. What did I guys tell you about that? You're going to have somebody in different countries signing people up right here in the United States. So welcome to the team, Juanita. And this is our first time coming on to one of our trainings. And I am loading a video because I want to prove a point. Tonight's topic on our Saturday night mindset training is really one of my favorite. It's next to going over personal development and mindset training. This topic is my next favorite because it's talking about dreaming about the future, projecting, having vision, looking at where you want to be 5 years from now, and being able to see something that everybody else around you, they can't see yet. They don't know about it yet. We are pioneers in our industry. We're pioneers in everything that we do. But you must understand and appreciate the times that we live in right now. We live in what I like to call, exponential growth. Things are growing exponentially, so fast. You know how they say that, every 10 years technology doubles, or every 20 years? Well, things are moving so fast right now that we can't even keep up. I was at the mall the other day, not the mall, the grocery store the other day, right before the 4th of July, and I had my phone out, and the cash register, she said, "Oh wow, is that the Galaxy S5?" She said, "My husband wants one of those because it's water resistant." And I said, "No, it's the S3." And she looked at me like, "S3? What are you, in the dark ages? This phone's not even 2 years old. You know how much money I spent on this phone? I still can't even figure out all the stuff it can do, yet it's already obsolete. Not one time over, but 2 times over. The S5 is already out, so it completely skipped the S4, and I'm on the S5. And I'm thinking now, I might as well just wait for the X6 to come out before. Why am I going to get the S5 now? But we live in exponential times. And when you're building a business, and it doesn't matter what business it is you're building, you must understand the industry. And why is it important to understand the industry? Well, the number one reason why you want to understand the industry is so that you'll have confidence about what it is that you're speaking about. You're confident about your product. You're confident about your business. If you don't understand your industry, why are you in your business? It's just like if you're on a 9-to-5 job, right? We go to school for years to become what's called a professional. In a couple of weeks, we're going to have our how to be a professional training, our two-tier mindset training. How to be a professional. You must know your industry. You go to school, you want to be a doctor, you may spend 10 years in school. You want to be a lawyer, you graduate from high school, you get your undergrad in probably political science or business or whatever, then you go to law school. So why is it any different in a home-based business? If you're in health and wellness, don't you think you should be a little bit understanding what the health and wellness industry is doing? Our industry is e-commerce. Don't you think you should be aware of what is going on in the e-commerce industry? And the reason why I'm excited tonight is because I'm going to be doing a training that I haven't done in 6 months. 6 months ago, or 7 months ago now, the January of 2014, we put together a presentation that was talking about the new trend of e-commerce, and we brought out some articles, news articles. You guys remember those? We're going to pull out that old slide. And now that we are 7 months into 2014, do you realize this industry has already made another $100 billion since January? So we're going to talk about those articles from then and see if you guys can see where we are right now just 7 months later. Here we go. Alright, welcome back. I hope you guys fully can appreciate what is about. Because number one, the last question says, so what does it all mean? Here's what it means. It means that life is never going to be the same again. Life is never going to go back. You either adapt or you perish. And if you want to be able to adapt, you want to be able to be focused and positioned in the future, you must put yourself in industries where there is no recession. Industries that's already positioned to take advantage of this exponential growth in technology. The world is getting much, much smaller. And by saying that, I want to go ahead and congratulate Mr. Andaya from Japan for getting promoted to star affiliate about 1 hour ago. So we congratulate Mr. Andaya, and actually right now, Japan's 17 hours ahead of California. And in the next few hours, they are having their first big meeting. It's going to be a standing room. They were telling me that they're not even going to have enough seats for their meeting out there. So they're excited about that, and then they're going to the Philippines next week and doing a big presentation, and then in Tokyo in beginning of August, another huge presentation. So things are starting to really gain some momentum, and July is a pivotal month for our company. And so we're gonna talk about that, Shopping Sherlock. And don't let the name of itself kind of fool you. The shopping part. We're more closely regulate or more closely compared to Google than any shopping mall out there. Somebody shot me a message today about a new business that's a shopping mall. I'm like, we're not a shopping mall. We're like Google. Don't Google it, Sherlock it. We just find you the best deals on items that you're going to purchase anyway. So anytime you want to look at a business, the first question you want to ask is this: would I use the product even if I was not in the business? That's a very important question. If you ever want to find out, is something a scheme or a scam? Will something be here long term? Would I use the product even if I wasn't in the business to make money? Would others use the product even if they didn't care about, I'm in the business myself, to help me out? Would they use the product? The answer is a resounding yes, because we save the average household $150 to $300 a month. The average family of four household in America earns $24,000 a year. They live on a fixed income. They go to work, they get paid, they pay their bills, and whatever's left over they use to buy food, clothing, entertainment, electronics, just stuff and gadgets. And that's what they spend their money on. What if you can show that same individual that's spending money anyway, that they can save an extra $300 a month back into their fixed income? Do you think that can change some lives? And the best part about it is we give it to them for free, because Google's free, YouTube is free, Facebook is free, Sherlock is free. How is this all possible? Oh, wait, let me continue here. Remember, I haven't seen these slides in 7 months, so bear with me. January of 2014, Shopping Sherlock was ranked the #1 top performing company in the world for network marketing. Now, the one thing that got me about that is 6 months before, I never heard of Shopping Sherlock. So that let me know that this was going to happen with or without me. Fear of loss. I'd rather it happen with me. We are currently living through what's called the Great Wealth Transfer. This is the greatest economic shift in wealth in the history of mankind, and the scary thing about this is that most people, and when I say most, I mean 97% of the population, just in the United States, but in the world, has no idea this is even taking place. The only people who do are the 3%ers. The millionaires and billionaires already know what's taking place, and they are positioning themselves. Now you have to think, that's not fair. How can they take advantage of this? They're creating it. No, they're not the ones creating this. We are. We're creating this. They're just taking advantage of it. You have to understand that in a good economy, wealthy people make money. In a bad economy, wealthy people make even more money. Why? I'm going to give you a little something that you can think about here. I'm going to paint a picture for you. Money, physical money, is worthless. Money is nothing but resources. It's energy. They say energy. What do you mean by that? Money is energy. And what that means is that it allows you to be able to have resources to do more things. It's energy. So picture money that flows on a river. I always like to use, if you guys have ever seen the movie Finding Nemo. And in that movie, the dad is trying to find his son. And to get to Australia, or I'm sorry, Sydney, Australia, he has to find the South Atlantic Current, something like that. And you think it's a river in the water. How can you have a river in the ocean? Well, there is. There's a river in the ocean that if you get on that current, it moves much faster than the water around. It's a jet stream, just like planes ride jet streams in the air. There's an air of current, just like in the water. So you have to picture money is this jet stream. Because money is all around you, but there's always this one river that moves faster than everything else. And we're all fishing for money out of the same river. Everybody, every single human being. The difference is wealthy people have yachts, oil tankers. They have bigger boats in the middle of the river. And they're able to have bigger fishing nets to capture more of the money. The rest of us are on the sidelines, on the riverbanks, with our one little fishing pole, fishing for our money. Now, rivers from time to time can change course, just like jet streams from time to time can change course. And when that happens, do you know what the wealthy people do? They pull up anchor and they move with the river. Do you know what the rest of us do? We still sit there on our riverbank because moving is too risky. We don't have the resources to move anyway. That's all we know is our little fishing pole. That's all we've been taught. And we're fishing for money out of a dried up riverbank. We start to lose our jobs. Our incomes go down. There's no more money coming through. What's our solution? Not get up and move. Our solution is to petition the federal government or our congressman or the president to make our lives better for us. Now I'm going to say something kind of controversial because it's been bugging me for the past week. And by no means am I being insensitive. I want to make that point. But I've been seeing on the news lately that the United Nations for the first time is investigating the United States because the city of Detroit is cutting off water to thousands of residents. How can that be? How in the world, how insensitive can you be to shut off water to all the helpless people out there? They gotta have water. What are we, a third world country? Now, on the surface, That sounds awful, doesn't it? But let's look at the reality here. They're not cutting off water just to cut off the water because they want to be mean. They're cutting off water to people who didn't pay the water bill. Now, before we go into the morality of this, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you don't pay your cable bill, the cable gets shut off. If you don't pay your light bill, the electricity gets shut off. If you don't pay the phone bill, your phone gets shut off. Nowhere in our Constitution has it been that water has been considered a right? It is a utility. And everybody pays for it since the beginning of capitalism. Now, there's thousands of people in Detroit whose water was not turned off. Why? Because they paid their bill. So here's the thing you must understand. We can change the law and make it so that water is free commodity for everybody. You don't have to pay for water anymore. We can do that. You should put that on the table. But to petition the federal government to force something, because here's the backlash. Let's say the federal government does a cry of mercy and decides to give water to everybody or extend it for whatever reason. Then they should extend it for all the people who's been working hard and sacrificing to pay their water bill should also get free water. I'm just saying here, but that's what we do when times are bad. We want the government to do something about it. That's not what wealthy people do, and that's why they're wealthy. But that's what we do. We sit on the riverbank, and we want the government to come in and fix things for us. That's not going to be the future. The government's not going to have the power to do it anyway. We're on our own. We have to take care of ourselves. If you don't want to be in a recession, then get positioned in an industry that there is no recession. The biggest shift The biggest shift of wealth in the history of mankind is taking place in this industry right now. And that industry is called e-commerce. Now, if you're not familiar with the word e-commerce, that's okay, because I didn't much know about it a year ago. I heard about it. I didn't fully understand it. But I knew the word commerce. I know that commerce is what makes the world go round. And I also know that in the 90s, the internet allowed people to create businesses on the internet. And they used to call it the dot-coms, right? Remember the dot-coms? Silicon Valley, instant multi-millionaires and billionaires. Because somebody created a business, or it wasn't even a business. They created a website and threw it up on the internet. And other companies were paying millions of dollars for it. Never generated any money. The dot-com era of the internet. And they called these individuals new money. Have you ever seen the movie Titanic? And remember on the Titanic, the unsinkable Molly Brown. You know what the elite called her? They called her new money. Because her husband was able to create wealth from nothing. And they didn't much get respect. It didn't matter how much money she had, the old elite didn't respect her because they considered that new money. Here's the interesting thing about e-commerce. For the first time in history, old money is changing hands. We're not talking about recreating something new. Somebody coming up with a new idea. That's not what we're talking about here. When I say the greatest shift of wealth, I'm talking about the old ways of money that was being made was you getting your paycheck, you going to work, getting a paycheck, and out of that paycheck, spending that paycheck before you had nothing left. And where did that money go? It went to companies and businesses that have been around for 100 years. You are recycling old money into the same hands. But here's what's taking place today. No longer are you putting $6 a gallon gas for the 4th of July weekend to go on a vacation, or drive down to your local grocery store, or go down to the mall to buy items in the same old stores that you've been doing for 100 years. That's not taking place anymore. You're now taking the same money that you would spend there, and you're flipping on your laptop. You're pulling out your smartphone, and you're deciding to spend that money electronically. This is a shift where old money is being spent in new ways. It's going into new people's hands. This, I swear, I hope you understand or can appreciate the vision of this, because the billionaires already do. The old money people are already trying to position themselves to make sure that you're going to spend your money in their pockets, because they're all getting positioned in e-commerce. But for the first time in history, you guys have the opportunity to be positioned as well. And as I said, this is global, not just a United States of America thing. Experts say that this is the beginning of a 10-year window of opportunity. Why is that important right there? Window of opportunity. Well, a millionaire told me years ago, he said, whenever you're approached about a business or an opportunity, you have to understand, due to numbers, this is just a numbers thing. It has nothing to do with, any other factors. But every person is given the opportunity at least twice in their lifetime of something great. Life-changing opportunities come at least twice for every single person. So when something comes across your desk, you have to ask yourself, is this the first or the last? And when you see this, that this is the beginning of a 10-year window, because this isn't going to go anywhere, but you only have a window of opportunity. I can't tell you how many people that I've been talking to in the coffee business companies that said, you know what, Brandon, that window of opportunity has passed. I should have got started 3 years ago. A lot of industries and companies have a finite window. Should you join Facebook now or 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago? Should you join Microsoft now or 20 years ago? Apple now or 20 years ago? You only have a window of opportunity for great things. Look, read the stories of billionaires. Every single one of them, they all have certain things in common. And one of those things was they were positioned right at a good window of opportunity. That's where we are right now. We're at the beginning of it too, not the middle, not the end. When you get to the end, you're going to see real hyper growth taking place, because everybody's jumping on board. But the beginning is where those guys become. This is where the billionaires and fortunes are being made. And what industry am I talking about? Of course, e-commerce. E-commerce ended 2013 at $1.29 trillion. Let me put that into perspective for you. 2002, the e-commerce industry was a $52 billion industry. So all of human history to 2002 created $52 billion in e-commerce. 10 years later, 2012, it grew to a $1 trillion industry. In 10 years. It didn't just double. You guys understand this? It didn't just go from 52 billion to 102 billion. It went from 52 billion to a trillion in 10 years. 1 year later, it increased by 20% to almost $1.3 trillion. 5 years from now, it is going to be a $5 trillion industry. $5 trillion industry. If we just had 1/10 of 0.5%, that's a crumb off the table. Not plural, I said one crumb that the dog wouldn't even lick up. It's still a multi-billion-dollar company. I want to make sure you guys understand the big picture here. I don't need to wake up and look at little money for tomorrow. I am talking about wealth generation for generations of your family. Multi-billion-dollar company. Let me illustrate for you how huge the world of e-commerce trend really is. Now, this is the fun part. I love this. Why? Because last I did this was in January of 2014. So there is no article on these slides older than January of 2014. So as I read this stuff, I want you to think to your mind where we are now in the articles that you read today. It just gave me an idea. I'm going to do a new article list for in today's environment. But anyways, take a look at this. January 15, 2014. We are now coming off of Holiday Shopping 2013. And do you guys remember what happened? Holiday Shopping 2013? Remember the biggest news of the not only the e-commerce explode, the biggest news of that holiday season was that companies like FedEx and UPS, for the first time ever, failed in their promise to deliver Christmas presents by Christmas. What? Think about that. For the first time ever, they failed in their promise to deliver. Now, we're talking about UPS and FedEx. Don't you think it's their job to try to predict and know what the shopping industry is going to be doing? Now, this is why I don't want you guys to be frustrated when you're out there talking to people about e-commerce and Shopping Sherlock and people are saying no. Don't get frustrated about that. It's just ignorance. They just don't know. So if FedEx and UPS didn't know, what makes you think Cousin Pookie on the corner is going to understand Shopping Sherlock or e-commerce? All they know is they need to go wake up. Because people are making $600 a month. That's all they can see. Don't be frustrated by it. This is where you need to have vision. Because UPS and FedEx didn't see it either. And you know their reasoning? Well, we didn't account for the number of people that was going to be shopping online and delivering products online. Here's why. Here's how UPS tracks things. Grandma goes to Sears or Toys R Us. She's got grandkids on the other side of the country. So she goes to the store, buys the item, has the item wrapped there, or takes it home and wraps it up. Then she goes to UPS and she physically ships it to her children and grandchildren across the country. UPS is able to track how many people is coming in and shipping the items. That's how they get a good idea of what the volume's going to be that year. Here's what happened in 2013. Grandma opened up her laptop, went to a website, Target, Best Buy, whatever, bought the item, but she did not physically touch the item, because when it came to shipping details, you know what she did? She put in her grandchild or children's address, and the item was shipped directly to them. UPS had no way of tracking that. They just didn't know to start tracking those algorithms. They didn't do it. Here's another thing that was unexpected for UPS and FedEx. On Cyber Monday, afterwards, anybody heard of Amazon? Amazon.com? The largest e-commerce company in the United States? People think they're the biggest in the world. They're not. But you know what they did? They did a special and said, anybody who is an Amazon Prime user, and I have Prime, you got to pay like $99 for a year, something like that. We're going to give you free 2-day shipping for Christmas. Over 1 million people signed up, and they failed to deliver that information and pass it on to UPS and FedEx. So FedEx and UPS got slammed. If you have any kids and you're looking for more jobs, I'm telling you what, this holiday 2014, UPS and FedEx is going to be hiring. Alright? Anybody's looking for a seasonal job, there you go. Anybody who has a lot of money on hand, I would invest or get involved with anything that has to do with shipping. That industry is also about to explode. Call me Nostradamus. I'm just saying. So let's take a look at a couple of industries here. Articles. This on CNBC. 5 problems retailers must fix in 2014. Amid aggressive discounting, little foot traffic, a shorter holiday season, and severe weather, the end of 2013 was disappointing for retailers. Now, with barely any time to catch its breath, the industry is bracing for even larger sea changes. And I apologize right now, guys. I was trained to be a lawyer. I am a teacher. I don't practice teaching right now, but I did go to school, qualified to be a teacher. So I read things like a lawyer does. I pick out certain words, because there's only a couple of words in every paragraph that makes all the difference. So understand the description here. The industry is bracing for even larger sea change. They could have used the word river change, swimming pool change, puddle change. No, to paint the picture for you, sea is huge. Sea change, such as mounting privacy concerns after massive data breaches and retailers' desire to wean consumers off discounts. As the new year kicks off, retailers are smack in the middle of 3 to 5 years of major changes. Now, I beg to differ. They say smack in the middle. I say we're still at the beginning. But look at what they said here. 3 to 5 years. Why in the world do you think that Shopping Sherlock is you're just gonna be a millionaire tomorrow? This is a long-term commitment. Those of you that's looking like I am, for long-term residual income. I've been in this industry for 15 years, and I know of the top money earners in every single company. And one thing that I've noticed over the past 7 years or so, with all the new companies that's been popping up, or whatever, people that's been jumping ship, you'd be hard pressed to find any of those top leaders that are able to walk away for 2 to 3 years and their income continued to still come in. You'd be hard pressed, because a lot of them are not working for long-term residual income. They want the money games. They want the fast money. They need today, right now money. to change their lives, and they know it's not going to last. That's not what I'm looking for. I retired at the age of 36, and I want to be here by the time I'm 46 to be on a beach somewhere for 6 months, come back, and have more money in my bank account than before I left. That's residual income. I was talking to a good buddy of mine, one of my former mentors, who left network marketing and went back to corporate America. He makes good money, about $400,000 a year. But he said, Brandon, you know, I went on a cruise, and you know what was killing me by the end of the cruise, by day 5, day 6? I realized I didn't make any money this week, and I cannot make it back. He said it was killing me, and I had to think about residual income again. Residual income, where the money continues to come in like royalties do. Do you think that Will Smith is still getting paid off of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Something that he did over 20 years ago? Do you think that Michael Jackson's estate is still getting paid off of the work he did? Do you know that when he passed away, he was dead broke? That today his estate is worth $500 million and climbing? Actually, more than that. I think it's over $1 billion now, his estate. Over the next 5 years, it's going to be over $5 billion his estate is worth. He's dead. But residual income. Let me continue reading this. I get excited reading this stuff because I can't sleep knowing what I know. I'm a voracious, researcher or studier of my industry. And I've been studying this industry for 9 months now, and I want to kick myself that I didn't know much about it before. Take a look at this. As the new year kicks off, retailers are smack in the middle of 3 to 5 years of major, not little, not small, not medium, major changes that will, and this is the biggest word of all, redefine the industry. Do you know what that word means? Redefine. Not just, a little addendum to it, not an amendment. We're talking about redefining it, changing the history books, rewrite the law. It is not going to be as you know it. As you know it today, it's going to change. And by the time everybody else figures it out, it's going to be too late. Whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not, whether you understand it or not, your opinion is not a factor. It doesn't matter what you think. The industry is being redefined, and that is going to change every single human being on this planet's life, our habit, the way we do business, the way we do things. There is no escaping it. It's like a black hole. All you can do is adapt to it. Again, do not be frustrated because certain people may quit the business because they didn't understand, or other people that you're talking to are saying no because they don't understand. It's important that you understand, because this is your life. Let me go to the next. I don't need to read the whole article. I'll tell you where these articles are at the end. Take a look at this one here on CNBC. Without rebirth, malls face extinction. Again, look at the two words they used. They used the word rebirth and extinction. That doesn't seem like, just a little change taking place. They're saying the malls need to rebirth, renew, come up with a complete different change. It's not just that people go to the mall to hang out. It's when people go to the mall to hang out, what are they doing while they hang out? They go shopping. Well, that's no longer the case because people aren't shopping in the malls anymore. And if malls don't change, they're going to be extinct. And malls are already starting to change. I don't have time to go into that tonight. That's a whole nother training in and of itself. Look at this one. Showrooming left in the dust as shoppers go online. For the longest time, Best Buy was considered Amazon's showroom. Why? People will go to Best Buy, look at what they want, and then go home, go to Amazon, and buy it for less. For the longest time. According to a new study, this was January 2013. January 13th, 2014. Oh, I forgot to name off the last article. That was January 13th. Wednesday, January 15th. So we're all in the month of January here. So according to a new study, efforts to eliminate showrooming from shoppers' behavior paid off in 2013 as a significantly smaller dollar amount was spent by shoppers who visited a store to test or try on a product only to go online and purchase it, usually for a cheaper price. Do you think that's still going on today? Or do you think that's going to change? No. Look at this one. I love the titles. January 22nd, 2014. A tsunami of store closings expected to hit retail. So, as a lawyer, what are the key words in this sentence? Tsunami, store closings. Why is that important? Well, the first word, tsunami, is important because it's not signifying a little wave, a little ripple, a little puddle. No, a tsunami of store closings. What's going to happen when stores close? People lose their jobs. What happens when people lose their jobs? They no longer have buying power, money to spend in the economy. They can no longer support themselves. They're going to be pulling more from the federal government, which also means less money for resources, which spurs and continues the economic recession. You wonder why they say we're no longer in a recession, we're in an economic recovery, yet it still feels like you're in a recession. People's lives aren't getting that much better. The wealthy are making a killing right now. And they spend a lot of money, but the majority of you guys, you really haven't recovered yet. And it's only going to get worse. As more family members get laid off, they're going to come to you for help. Or are you going to be able to help them? And if not, they go to the government. The government's already in a bad shape. This is a prediction that not that I am making, but CNBC made this article. Everybody you know on Facebook, everybody you know in all the other companies running their mouth about how great they are and how stupid you are for doing what you're doing, they're all going to be affected. You know why? Because as they sell those high cost products of their company, when people lose their jobs, they can't afford to buy their products. So what happens then? What happens when you're on the 90-day challenge and you can't afford to buy the weight loss products or the health and wellness products anymore? What happens to their business? Especially when they can go to Sherlock and buy the same item for less. If you guys are still with me, type I in the chat box. I want to make sure I'm making sense here. Because like I said, I'm painting a picture here. I'm taking you to school. I'm teaching you stuff that wealthy people already know. The broke, busted, and disgusted haven't figured it out yet. Why I'm passing up six-figure offers to stay right where I am right here. I see the vision. Tsunami of store closing expected to hit retail. The sad thing about it is that retail jobs is what everybody has been flocked to when they lost their corporate jobs. There are no more corporate jobs. So now you see 40, 50, and 60-year-olds working at Walmart, working at McDonald's, working at Best Buy. They're not kids. And now they're about to lose those jobs. It's like a double whammy. Wake up, everybody. Here's an article. When was this? Oh, this is 2013. September 26, 2013. Mobile commerce statistics. By the end of 2013, more people will use mobile phones than desktop computers to browse the internet. It's already that way overseas. More than half of U.S. mobile subscribers owned a smartphone as of June 2012, and 2/3 of them belonged to the 24 and 35 age group, which means that these figures will only go up. How many of you have a smartphone right now? Type me in the chat box. And this is United States statistics. This is not the rest of the world. Why is that important? This month we're going to be launching our mobile app. It's the future of the company. Enough said. Oh, you'll be hearing more about that. Article. Is there a date on here? Yeah, it's Sunday, June 3rd, 2012. Well, this is the really old one. Huh. E-commerce in the Middle East grew 300% in the past year. That was 2012. Where do you think it is now? You guys starting to see the trends here? January 24th, 2014. Walmart's Sam's Club to cut 2,300 workers. Now, understand here, because I know what this article, I don't have the screenshot here, but I know what this article says. Is Walmart in any financial trouble? I'm sorry, did Walmart file for bankruptcy that I don't know about? I mean, the four owners, the kids of Sam, they're all worth over $20 billion each. I'm sorry, are they losing money? Why are they cutting 2,300 workers? I'm telling you why. Because they are now shifting their focus to online. Why have a sales force out there working when they can do it for less online and get more eyeballs looking at their websites? I'm telling you, this was in January. Here's another article. This was January 21st, 2014. Look at this sentence, the title. E-commerce expanding at breakneck pace. Understand, e-commerce already added another 500, am I doing this right? $100 billion since the beginning of the year. E-commerce added $100 billion since the beginning of the year. This is January. E-commerce expanding at breakneck pace. Online cross-border trade seen growing fivefold by 2020. Fivefold. When it says cross-border, talk about a world without borders. A world without borders. The value of online exports in 6 of the top e-commerce markets will grow fivefold to $130 billion by 2020, with Britain. You guys wonder why the UK is the largest organization in Shopping Sherlock, with Britain leading the way. Britain is currently generating the biggest online trade surplus by selling more goods abroad, research showed on Monday. The study by London-based management consultancy and U.S. search engine Google estimated the value of cross-border online trade in the United States, Britain, Germany, the Nordics, the Netherlands, and France at $25 billion for 2013. E-commerce is expanding at breakneck pace, with online retail sales in Europe seen doubling by 2018 to 323 billion euros, which is 437 billion US dollars. And I wish you could read below, but what he says below, over the next decade, online retail would become even more international, and that he has the guy says has never seen anything like this in in his career. What's taking place right now? Look at this one. January 17th, 2014. Stores confront new world of reduced shopper traffic. E-commerce not only siphons off sales, but the most important part of this whole article at all is changing shopping habits. You want to know why? At the end of the year, for New Year's, people make New Year's resolutions. And two of the most New Year's resolutions is they want to make more money and they want to lose weight. Well, if you look at the losing weight part, why is it that most people just can't seem to, even if they lose weight, keep it off? Because losing weight and keeping it off is not about dieting. It's about lifestyle. It's about having the right eating habits, the right workout habits. It's not just a one-time thing. And it takes a good 22 days of doing something consistently to create a new habit. And once that habit is there, you're a done deal. So we're talking about changing people's shopping habits from going to the stores to shopping online. That's what they talk about, the biggest economic shift. It's not a one-time deal. This is permanent. Let's go to the next one here. Article January 8th, 2014. Holiday sales up, but fewer people in stores. Window shopping is taking on a new meaning for many Americans. The latest sales data from the holiday season shows that U.S. shoppers increasingly prefer to research clothes, TVs, and shoes online or virtual window shop before heading to stores. ShopperTrack, which tracks data at 40,000 stores in the U.S., said on Tuesday that sales for in November and December rose 2.7% to $265.9 billion. That was better than 2.4% growth the data had that they expected for the season. We already talked about holiday sales up. And I'll predict 2014 holiday sales is going to break all records. You're not going to see everybody on Black Friday, Thanksgiving night, camped out of stores all night. They're going to wait to Cyber Monday because they can get the same deal or better than they would by hanging out in the cold for 24 hours till the stores open up. Why do all that? Have your smartphone open there. This article was June 28, 2013, Entrepreneur. This is for you guys, for the business people. The rise of online entrepreneurs. E-commerce by the numbers. With lower startup costs and a broader reach, a growing number of entrepreneurs are turning to online retail instead of traditional brick-and-mortar businesses. According to data compiled by Ubot Studio, a marketing automation software company, e-commerce is a $200 billion industry in the U.S. that is projected to expand by 15% each year. That's just in the U.S. Ladies and gentlemen, we have less than 5,000 active reps in the United States alone. Nobody knows about us. But our industry is growing at 15% a year. Talk about timing and positioning for each of you. Here's a good article. Now, this is a perfect example of what billionaires are doing where most people don't know what's taking place yet. Saturday, February 1st, 2014. Leaked documents show is planning to sell goods through the site. Leaked documents show that Twitter is planning to sell goods through the site as losses widen to 140.9 million. The leaked documents have revealed that Twitter is planning to allow its 232 million users to buy products directly from the site as part of a new online retail venture called Twitter Commerce. According to Recode, the technology blog, the transactional service is a partnership with the U.S. e-commerce site called Fancy. Okay, hold that thought there. Fancy, so Twitter is partnering with Fancy. Now, this is interesting, the next sentence, which counts Twitter founder. How can you have the guy who founded Twitter partner with this? Because here's what it is. Twitter founder Jack Dorsey is an investor and board member. So the Twitter founder is an investor and board member of Fancy, and he takes his company and partners with it. He's partnering with his own company. Mock-ups of the e-commerce proposal show how Twitter users can make a purchase from seeing a tweet with a picture of a product and a button that says Buy with Fancy. Facebook attempted a similar move in September when it launched the gift spinoff that allowed users to buy physical goods from the site. You guys understand that the billionaire move there? So the billionaire founder of Twitter is also investor, board member, and owner of Fancy. He's preparing for the future. Are you preparing for the future? Is the average person out there preparing for the future? No. But you can. Put your head down. Go to work. Do what the big boys are doing. Here's my favorite article of them all. I swear I'm going to pull this article out 5 years from now when I'm making $1 million a month and more. Friday, January 24th, 2014. Starbucks Schultz. Wait a minute. Why in the world is Howard Schultz, billionaire of Starbucks, what does he do? He sells coffee. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you can't roll up to Starbucks online. But look at what he has to say. And I'm going to break it down why he's even opening his mouth about this. There's a sea change happening in retail. What is this politics where all the billionaires are getting the same talking memo? We keep seeing the same adjectives used over and over again. Sea change, tsunami, ocean. So here's Howard Schultz, happening in retail. So here's what he's got to say. It's a good thing that you cannot buy coffee from Starbucks online. Because if people could, then Starbucks would be among the traditional companies. See his adjective there. Traditional companies, that means brick and mortar. What's our model? From brick and mortar to click and order. Don't you think Howard Schultz called it in January? Traditional companies that may get swept away. Then again with the adjectives. Swept away, whether they like it or not, by what Schultz described as an online sea change encroaching. Man, this guy's using nothing but adjectives. And when other billionaires read and listen to what billionaires say, they read between the lines. As a lawyer, that's what we're taught to do. Read between the lines. So read between the lines of what he's saying here. I'll read that sentence. It's a whole lot of information in one sentence. Starbucks would be among the traditional companies that may get swept away by what Schultz described as an online sea change encroaching upon brick-and-mortar retailers, most evident from a lackluster holiday gift-giving season. Reporting first quarter earnings after the bell on Thursday, Starbucks said increased online shopping kept more U.S. consumers at home than usual during the holiday season, which meant less visits to coffee shops in malls and near retail outlets. Ding, 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 ding. That's why Howard Schultz is speaking up. He's sounding the alarm. When you see a guy like this going on talk news radio or on the Fox News and all the other good stuff, when you see this happening, it means something big is taking place that has gotten their attention. And he's sounding the alarm to his other billionaire buddies to get their heads out of the sand and pay attention. Because if people aren't going to the malls to shop in those stores, they're not stopping off at Starbucks to get their coffee. You see the domino effect? You guys have been quiet for a while. If you're still with me, type me in the chat box. Let's read further of what he has to say. In an interview, Schultz said he believes December, which is December 2013, represents an inflection point. These are code words. See, the average person walking down the street that's not educated, reads an article like this, they have no idea what he's talking about. What are you talking about? He's using code words here. It represents an inflection point, meaning this is the start of a fire. What do firefighters do at the end of a blaze? And they want to investigate, where's the starting point? Where did the fire get started? That's what he's saying here. December represents an inflection point in the growing use of online shopping services and mobile payments. Here's a direct quote. We are navigating through what I believe to be a significant sea change, Schultz said on Squawk on the Street. We're going to be talking about this for quite some time. I would not want to be a traditional brick-and-mortar retailer that did not have mobile payments, that did not have social and digital media. Those companies are going to find themselves significantly challenged in 2014 and beyond. This article is worth billions of dollars to those who pay attention. And you want to know what type of people pay attention to articles like this? Michael Weeder. Yes, the CEO of Shopping Sherlock does. He said he's looking at these every day. Every day he's researching. He's looking at new articles, anything that's being talked about, e-commerce, looking for that edge, because this is what billionaires and millionaires do. They want to see what other billionaires and millionaires are doing. In fact, I will pull up, what was the last article Michael shot over? Let me pull that up. Oh, here's one. This was very interesting. I'm going to put this in the tab. And then I'm going to open it up where I can see this and read just a little bit of this article. Alright, this is from technology.inquirer.net. And it's talking about the Philippines. PH is fastest growing internet audience. The Philippines. Oh, we have two of our leaders, our new global power. They're going to the Philippines next week. The Philippines is the fastest growing internet audience in the world, says Singapore-based social media manager Jonathan C. in a recent social media marketing lecture. See, you guys always wonder why things are growing so much faster overseas in America, because they get it. They're living this. They don't need to be taught, or they don't need to do research, because they are living the research. In the Philippines, out of 105 million people, 37.6 million are internet users, 34 million of whom are Facebook users. They spend about 6 hours and 12 minutes per day. 4 hours and 1 minute of it are spent in social media. That's all I'm going to read on that. Just wanted to give you guys an example. Billionaires and millionaires pay attention to these type of news articles. So again, our company can position you in front of this major market trend so that you can take part in the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of mankind. Let's talk about Sherlock positioning. 2013 in July to January of 2014 had a 300% growth. And just this past month, June, and now into July, do you realize that we matched all of the income Sherlock made in 2013? We matched it halfway through this year. We're on target to almost triple our income of 2014 from 2013. Nothing but up. I seriously challenge your business sense for anybody who would walk away from the company. Your long-term business sense. And I don't say that as an insult, because anything can happen in your life where you got to do other things. But if you walk away because you didn't understand this, I challenge your business sense. We're building a legacy. We're building a dynasty. The company on all sectors is going up. This is huge, ladies and gentlemen. And there's nothing we can do to stop this. We have only just begun. We know we are in the right place, and we know our timing is superb. Look at the timing trends for Walmart. In 2012, Walmart invested $350 million in their e-commerce initiatives. Walmart's biggest shopping day in 2013 was Cyber Monday. When the biggest retailer in the world says their future is in e-commerce, you know Shopping Sherlock is in the right place at the right time. Let's look at CNBC. New top choice for shoppers. Online overtakes brick and mortar. Cyber Monday sales surge to new record. Growth online is contrast to sluggish holiday sales in physical stores as shoppers are lured by convenience of the web. Cyber Monday sales rose 16% to a record $2.29 billion. I remember where it crossed the billion for the first time, and people went nuts over that one. 2.29 billion in one day. What makes us so unique? We are the one place where you can find the best prices, daily deals, coupons, cashback. Other companies sell products. Other companies sell one product or a few products. We have everything. In fact, those other companies that sell products, we sell their product as well. Sherlock it. And we have everything for the best price. You can earn money even when people say no. Give it away for free. The free model works. Ask Facebook, Google, Twitter, YouTube, Yahoo, Pinterest, etc. The free model works, obviously. Evolve the product. Our mobile device is coming out this month. Marketing system, constantly changing. In fact, what did we just launch this month? Tandem marketing. Well, we actually have a call center that's doing the recruiting for us. By the time we get on the phone with somebody, they're already going to be in the business. All we have to do is plug them into the system and the team. Just started this month. Right now, the Sherlock is at the $2 per Sherlock. By the end of the year, our projection is for it to be $4 per Sherlock. Do you realize how huge that is? By giving something away for free. I give you a hint. I can't say any names, but one of our leaders shared this with me. That they have a business with over 200,000 customers. And what they want to do is give the Sherlock away for free as a thank you to all of their customers. What if he had 20,000 customers that were active out of 200,000 that they gave it away to? And it's worth $4 per Sherlock. 20,000 times 4. That's 80. I didn't do that right. Make sure. 20,000. Yes, I did. Times $4. That's $80,000 a month. You guys understand that? $80,000 a month in just Sherlock income. This is where you have to have big vision. Put your big boy and big girl pants on. And it's going to continue to rise. What if that was $10 per Sherlock? Do you think people on Facebook will be going crazy to sign other people up as a customer? You know, well, I don't know. What is it? Think I'll go wake up. I don't know about the Sherlock. Please. This is going to go like viral, and just explode. New countries. This was before Japan blew up. You guys understand this? This was before we have a global in Japan. This was before we're sitting on top of an entire country. New countries are here. See, the Japan team didn't really start till May. I'm showing you slides from January or the beginning of February. New countries are emerging. One of the big countries we're looking at that I really want to have teams growing. China. Japan. Well, we got Japan now. That's interesting. Mexico. Oh, my flag is rusty. I don't know that flag symbol in the middle. Is that the no, that's not the Philippine flag. Right next to China. Worldwide. If you have internet access and a cell phone, you can do this planet from anywhere. I mean, this business from anywhere on the planet. Oh, I should know Brazil. I've been watching the World Cup all day. Brazil. We have nobody down there. I don't want to pick on them. Oh, wait. I'm not picking on them. I'm talking about their growth. Every company goes through a hyper growth period. We're at the beginning, it may be a little bit slow. So you look at 2005 from 2005 it was at $250,000 a month in sales. By 2006 it jumped to $1 million a month in sales. Then it kind of went flat for a bit. From 2006 to 2010. 4 years. 4 years of kind of being a little bit flat. Still growing just a little bit. It took 3 years or 2 years to go from $1 million to $2 million in monthly sales. And then it took 2 more years to add another $2 million. So 2004 to 2010 to $4 million in sales. And here's what happened after 2010. It exploded. By 2012, 2 years later, it reached $623 million in monthly sales. In 2 years. What do you think's going? And selling a weight loss product, 90-day challenge. What do you think's going to happen to the Sherlock when it catches fire? It's going to explode. That was by Salas. What about Cincy? From 2004 to 2008, it took 4 years to get $60 million a year in sales. And then 1 year it went from 60 million to 180 million at the end of 2009. Another year it went over 360 million by 2010. By 2011 it was $500 million in revenue for the year. You see how that grows like that? What about Isogenics? 2002. It took 2002 to 2004 to get to $50 million in annual sales. And then it went to hypergrowth. From 2004 to 2008, it jumped to 250 million. Then it kind of plateaued and flattened off. From 2007. From 2007 to 2011, didn't really do that much growth. Then it exploded again. Another 100 million in 1 year from 2011 to 2012 and beyond. Shopping Sherlock and your positioning. By 2020, e-commerce and mobile commerce will be $5 trillion. Growth in mobile payment options, small business adoption, and delivering logistics improvements will contribute. That mobile payment is going to be, the mobile is going to be huge, because your mobile phone is going to be the mouse of the world. Can you imagine walking into a store, taking a look at an item that you want to buy, looking at the price, scanning it, or Sherlocking it, and the Sherlock says, oh, well, you can get this cheaper somewhere else. How about this for technology? Walking into a store, picking up some clothes, trying it on, dropping the clothes in your bag, and walking out of the store, and the store knows that you were in it because you have the app on your phone, and it automatically charges you for the items once you walk out the store, never having to go to a counter. You know what McDonald's is even experimenting with? Ordering your food through a McDonald's app, and then you just going through the drive-thru and picking it up, or walking in the store in the McDonald's and picking it up, never having to go through the counter because you already paid for it. Mobile payments is going to change the world. You may not see it now, but it doesn't matter if you like it or believe it or not. It's going to happen. The next 10 years will be the golden age. Fortunes will be made. Market share of 5 trillion. 10% market share is $500 billion. 1% market share is $50 billion. 1/10 of 1% is $5 billion. That's what we're looking for. Just give us 1/10 of 1%. Now, this was from our convention. We had hundreds of people in our convention, but if every person in the room just got 2 and duplicated for 12 months, our company sales will be $445 million. That's $40 million a month in monthly auto ships, which 68% of that is getting paid to the field. That's when we go through in the training. Just do your part. It only takes 2. You get your 2, and we're talking about that monthly auto ship, $34.95 a month. $34 a month. You get 2. You teach them how to get 2. You teach them how to get 2. That's all it takes. If everybody just did their part, everybody walks off their job. I'm not going to go into all of that. My point is made because we're running late. I shared this information because I want you to be armed with knowing that you're... There is a video I do want to play. I'll let this load up. But I hope that this is information that helped you guys. I had fun doing this tonight. I got myself all fired up. Because what I saw 6 months ago is happening right now with our company. And I think about all the people that we lost during that time over the past 6 months. And I love them to death, but I just shake my head. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. You can sit somebody down in the movie theater, but you can't make them watch the whole movie. You got to get up and go somewhere else. That's on them. But you got to make a choice for yourselves. Here's another thing that's important. It's not good enough that you're in the company. That's great. But you have to work your business. It's one thing to stand on the sidelines and watch the waves from the shore. It's another to be in the water and miss the wave anyway. Every single one of you is in the water now. Don't miss the wave. Don't let this opportunity go past. Don't watch it go by. Make this the greatest summer, because what you do during this summer is going to determine what your Christmas is going to be like. I've already personally enrolled 3 people this month. My goal is to hit the leaderboard, hit power all over again, and then hit global all over again. Do you have your goals written down? What is your why? What is your focus? The video that I'm going to play is called Focus on the Goal and Not the Task. Too many people's trying to figure out the how and not focus on why they're doing what they're doing in the first place. Anytime a thought creeps in my head or I get a phone call from somebody offering me something, I think about why I am doing this. My focus. It's hard at times. Focus. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. My name is Brandon Ivey, soon to be Diamond with Shopping Sherlock. We will see you tomorrow. We have a Google Hangout with Fraser Brooks. We have